Let the word go forth from this time and place to friend and foe alike that the torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans.
January 1961, John Fitzgerald Kennedy is sworn in as president after winning one of the closest elections in U.S. history. America is divided and the economy is recovering from a deep recession. But Kennedy's campaign promise to get the country moving again inspires the nation with renewed optimism. However, beneath the surface lies a growing fear of the perceived threat from the USSR. A fear fueled by deteriorating relations between East and West, as both nations race to develop increasing numbers of nuclear weapons and tip the balance of power in their favor.
Enemy aircraft took over Canada and headed this way. Normal broadcasting has been discontinued.
While the people of the Soviet Union may share these fears, they too ride a wave of optimism, led by their dominance in the space race. They are the first to put a satellite into orbit with Sputnik 1 in 1957, and 4 years later, they are the first to put a man in space. But behind the scenes, Premier Nikita Khrushchev and his communist government grow increasingly unsettled as the U.S. expands their nuclear forces across Western Europe, placing ballistic missiles in Britain, Italy, and Turkey. It's a provocative move by the U.S. on the global chessboard, as Turkey sits alarmingly close to the Soviet Union and well within striking distance of Moscow itself. But the Soviet Union actively seeks to extend its own sphere of influence by aiding the spread of communism throughout Latin America. In January 1959, after nearly 6 years of guerrilla war, Castro seizes control of Cuba from the corrupt Batista regime. At first, there is a hope for a new beginning between the two nations. Once in power, Castro selects non-communists for key positions in his new government. But soon, at the urging of Che Guevara and Castro's brother Raúl, the country leans further towards communism. Later that year, Castro's visit to America is generally friendly. The U.S. government remains cautiously optimistic that the differences with the new regime can be worked out. But these hopes would prove unfounded. In August 1960, Castro formally nationalizes all foreign-owned property and businesses in Cuba, including many American holdings.
There is a limit to what the United States in self-respect can endure. That limit has now been reached. Our sympathy goes out to the people of Cuba, now suffering under the yoke of a dictator.
In protest, the U.S. recalls its ambassador from Havana, freezes all Cuban assets on American soil, and tightens an already strict trade embargo. As a result, 95% of Cuba's sugar production is suddenly without a buyer. Desperately in need of a new trading partner, Castro turns to the USSR and establishes ties that would turn the Caribbean nation into a staunch Soviet ally, just 90 miles from American shores.